What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the certifiably suave Dr. Disaster, and now that Star Wars Outlaws has released today, I am pleased to inform you that I have some live video feed of some Ubisoft investors showcasing their enthusiasm to invest more into this company.
What is this? What is this? Where's all the money?
If the game were doing well with their pre-sales numbers, you just know that Ubisoft would be bragging about Star Wars Outlaws by now in an attempt to drum up interest among the investors. But not only have we heard nothing but crickets out of Ubisoft thus far, rumor has it that the sister game of Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows, they are having piss-poor pre-sales numbers as well. It's almost as if making games for the ever-elusive modern audience isn't very profitable, because whenever they do it, they see the sales numbers trickle in and they have to ask, "Where are they?" And it doesn't matter how many times they lash out at us, the gamers, the people who are supposed to be their customers, it won't magically produce this modern audience that they seek so much.
Where are they? You have nothing to threaten me with.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where I keep a list of woke and DEI-infected games pinned to my account at all times for your reference. My handle on the platform is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyway, like I said earlier, if Star Wars Outlaws numbers were good, you just know that we'd be hearing about it by now. You know they'd be bragging about the numbers if they weren't embarrassing. Just look at Stellar Blade from earlier this year as an example. They were constantly talking about how they were the #1 most ordered game on PlayStation Store for the weeks leading up to the release, and they were very open about the fact that they had sold 1 million copies. Of course, this led to Shift Up, the studio that made Stellar Blade, to go public, and the owners of the company made a shitload of money because investors were enticed by these transparent and awesome numbers. Contrast that to what we got going on here with Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Neither of these games will be on Steam, so we can track their player counts. Ubisoft prefers to operate in darkness so that they aren't opening themselves up to embarrassment. Of course, they're also trying to entice people into subscribing to their very shitty Ubisoft subscription service, but really, the thing is they just like to operate in darkness. That's what I'm convinced of. They will only tell us the numbers if those numbers are something the company can spin, but they have been silent thus far, and that silence is deafening. Meanwhile, we are hearing that the pre-sales for Assassin's Creed Shadows are abysmal. Stuttering Craig tweeted this. He said, "My insider told me that, as of this morning at their nationwide big box chain, Assassin's Creed Shadows has less than 800 pre-orders combined for Xbox and PS5 company-wide. They have over 900 stores. That is less than 1 pre-order per store." Now, I grant you that the release of Assassin's Creed is still a few months away, but still, this ain't good if it's true. A mega blockbuster franchise like Assassin's Creed Shadows should have tons of pre-orders by now. But maybe, just maybe, Ubisoft has finally rankled enough of the gamers out there to finally make a difference. With a company like this, you wonder how much damage they would have to do before people finally turn on them, before the normies wake up and say, "This isn't a company that I want to support." Perhaps we are finally getting our answer. Perhaps telling people to get comfortable not owning your games was finally enough to make people snap. But as usual, Mark Kern, aka Grums on Twitter, had something to say about the situation which was very interesting. He said, Ubisoft is in trouble. A lot of people are saying physical sales are not the majority. Yes, but they do track in proportion to digital sales. If sales are slow in physical, they are also slow in digital, tracking hand in hand, even if digital is far greater percentage-wise. The trend here of just one copy per physical store is not conclusive, but very bad for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and their stock hasn't spiked, even though Star Wars Outlaws just shipped. If it were moving copies, institutional investors would know the early numbers or have good guesses on the best retail info and be buying that stock. They aren't. And that is exactly what I have been saying here. If the early numbers were good, Ubisoft would not be shy about sharing that information, and the investors would know, and they would be making the stock skyrocket in value. But as of the time of this recording, Ubisoft stock has basically flatlined and hasn't seen any significant change after dropping like a rock a month or so ago. As I said in my video the other day on this subject, I know someone personally who runs a small retail store chain specializing in gaming, and I was told by this person that the pre-orders for Star Wars Outlaws were abysmal. They had 17 pre-orders across the 9 stores, and as a company, they decided to dial back on their orders. Each store is only getting 2 to 3 copies of the game on launch, and yet they are still concerned that they ordered too much. Because here's the thing about retail stores that I'm sure a lot of you know, but some of you may not. When a retail store sells a video game, the margin is practically peanuts. If they sell the game for $70, then they likely paid about $60 for it. Plus they have to pay shipping, which adds another $1 or so per game, and if a game sits on the shelf for too long and doesn't sell, the game depreciates rapidly. After a week or two, most games can be purchased on eBay for less than wholesale cost from retailers who are desperate to get their money back. Ubisoft, at this point, is infamous for having games that depreciate extremely rapidly, so retailers are pivoting away from them. But I'm going to leave it there. What do you think about this Ubisoft situation? Do you expect that the numbers for Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows will be low? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.